We humans have stared longingly into the sky for thousands of years, every cell in our bodies desperate to understand the silent expanse glittering back at us. Where are we in this? Are we in its center, or are we just meaningless blips on something on a scale that we can't even begin to imagine? As humans, we tend to assume there's a central point of control. We tend towards these structures in the way that we organize ourselves and try to extrapolate that onto other things. Yet the reality is that the truth of the universe is more complex. As you may already know, the Big Bang that occurred 13.7 billion years ago was the beginning of the expansion of the universe, from a compact and tiny beginning to an ever-growing entity. However, the Big Bang did not start from a central point. Instead, every part of it instantaneously began repelling from every other part in a mass, decentralized explosion. Like a breakup after a Las Vegas wedding, the primordial forms of the universe couldn't get away from each other quick enough, and they're still moving away now. Might help to imagine that we're existing on the surface of an ever-expanding balloon. As it expands, the structure of the surface that we perceive simply becomes bigger and wider from all points, without any central point ever appearing. One key thing to note about this analogy is that a balloon will eventually reach its capacity and explode from too much air. It's finite. But the universe and scientists aren't sure that this is the case. It could keep expanding indefinitely. So, what is the shape of the universe? That's decided by the total amount of mass and an energy in the cosmos. If these two factors are equal, this is something called critical density. Critical density would lead to a flat universe akin to the sheet that was expanding at a very steady rate. However, if the density was higher, then the universe would start to take on the curvature that we can see in a balloon. The excess gravity from this higher level of density would eventually completely stop the expansion of the cosmos. On the other hand, if the density was lower, the universe would have a negative curvature. Its shape would end up looking a little like a horse saddle. Yet, remember, it still would be infinite with no central point to it. In our very limited understanding so far, observations of the cosmic microwave background radiation suggest that we're living in a universe with a notably flat structure. Yet, this could all be an illusion, similar to how we perceive the Earth as being flat, as live on its surface. Really, at this point, we're still like that baby we see in its carriage, staring intensely out into the world. It doesn't know, trying desperately to figure it out. And like that baby, what we know is limited. The rate that our knowledge is increasing is occurring exponentially. As humans at the center of our own little universe, it can be difficult for us to accept the fact that there's no central point to this mind-blowingly complex structure that we exist in. Knowing where the center is tends to give us comfort, an anchor in life. Yet the universe is not hampered by the limitations of the human mind. Throughout history, humans have constantly assigned central points to the universe. The Earth, the Sun, the Milky Way galaxy. Yet each time we've been proven wrong. Thus, we must accept the universe isn't playing by the rules that we want to impose on it. It's a rebel, but we don't know the cause. And somehow, we've come along for the ride.